definitely rough to be so successful at times. I did about 4 more C's in that successful than was necessary as well.
That's an interesting approach here. Alter Ego, taking a leaf out of the Alpha 7 playbook. Take it to the skies. And I mean, on the east side, it kind of looked a little bit occupied, but it was Papra Supermassive who they scrapped with earlier, right? And they're very, very split. The landing actually fairly smooth, but Rosemary, I mean, he's taking damage from somewhere. I think that might be in the blue zone earlier on, but has 5 bandages, a stim ticking him up as well.
Did you miss Alva just falling out the plane?
I think I did, actually. Blank, I was looking at the map feeds. That happened? Oh, dear.
Yes.
That's okay. That's really, really bad. Rosemary, what are you doing? Figure it out.
Well, I don't think it's Rosemary's fault. I think that Alva just ejected in some failed James Bond movie. So, not really sure what he did there. That should... It doesn't take any damage at all. But it doesn't matter. The M249 will do the trick. So, a pretty unfortunate entry, which looked so smooth, right?
Yeah, they sort of stumbled repeatedly on several hurdles. I missed Alva falling out the plane. I definitely will need to get a replay on that, because that sounds like comedy gold. But Papra Supermassive, able to...
You do want to play on the south side, please, OG.
Oh, no. Oh,
OG,
no.
please.
This is the recheck game, though, Blank. It's now or never, right? They need it, Blank, and they do send down south over that bridge. They are not going to be playing across the water. As tempting as it might be, it's not going to be there.
Yeah, they were going to play Sharkfin, which very much an outside chance and survival. But I imagine Ari's just like, look, we're done with that type of play style. All right, we're done with playing on the outside of the zone. Let's try and get something here. I mean, they're so close to breaking out into the last chance. I'm so glad that they turned around. No matter what happens to them now, I respect the decision.
Go with 2 players that they got remaining, fending off against GS around the corner. No shots found for GS. The door frame lit up there on the corner, but it will finally be a knock found. Unfortunately, though, there's no one else to try and jump on in. This should be Reservoir here for Killer Joe as he spots Jafar out in the buggy, out in the open, and he gets the spray down. Beautiful stuff as Goat now up to 3 elims. They are desperately defending that 3rd place spot, and now trying to stop Alter Ego from getting on in, because they've only got Krypton, I believe. Oh, Snape is still alive as well on that southeast side, but just no HP to be seen.
Tiamba and Reject, 2 teams that sort of don't really want to fight one another right now. Both have hovercrafts as well. It's a very similar strategy seen from both the squads here. But yeah, really nasty circle for everyone involved. Cuts out so much landmass. I think it's one of the few times where there is actually less playable area on the map than unplayable. It's so tough on this one.
Oh, that's where they are.
Where are they?
This is west side of Sosnovka.
Yeah, so they must be... They're very far away. They're
gonna die. They're gonna die in the blue.
There's a lot of distance to go there for Team Secret. Somewhat confusing.
It's not like you can exactly stop off and heal for a second, is it? In the glider.
No. Okay, I mean, for Reject, honestly, that rotate from farm down towards the south side to play those buildings, like I said, on the beachhead works out fantastically well for them. I just want to see a little bit of a regroup here and then hold those angles, because this is a perfect way to finish out your game. I'm sorry, Reject, I should have never have doubted you. That's my bad.
They are really holding this one out. Gen G now eliminated. So another team quite close to that boundary. I say quite close. They are 83 points and 11th place is 66. But with GS going down, that's good news for Loops, for OG, to try and keep this one going. And on an outside chance for Reject, they've got Hovercraft as well, Blank. So some nice tanky cover that they can maneuver around wherever they see fit. And a lot of teams are just trying to send over their way. Alter Ego, the last player standing, trying to chase on down. 9Z clashing with Papra Supermassive on the outside, and they have got nothing in the face of Papra Supermassive. Nico's not there, but they don't need him. They got all the other boys, and now Reject want a piece of this. Reiji scouting out Divine Nades over the top. If they can win this out, this is a huge pickup to be able to clear so much territory, but they're falling back. They don't want to overexpose.
Yeah, I don't really think you can say Papra Supermassive really clashed with 9Z there. They look more like my pizza from last night as they sliced them halfway 8 times. That was bad. Yeah, it's pretty tough. Alter Ego, though, nice little Molotov. Unfortunately, Krypton basically has no HP to speak with. Less than 5% here. He is struggling. The Wolves, though, still continuing here. I mean, they've definitely been persistent in their journey. The more I watch Wolves, the more I think to myself that they're a team that makes mistakes. And that is the problem, you know? I think they're a good team, but there's a lot of mistakes that are made during the play. I think if they can shore up some of those holes in the ship, then they'd be fine. They'd be a really, really strong squad. But there's just these moments where it's carelessness that really comes back to bite them.
Yeah.
But they've been playing much better today. I'll say that now.
Chris God, challenge, and Bond is able to win that out. That's the last player now standing for OG. They tried to approach from this east side, but Tiamba were on the hold. It looks like they were doing pretty well. They're not going to be pushed through either. D+ actually moving immediately ahead of this one. You said they get these weird rotates sometimes. This is a brilliant heads-up decision made by D+ Kia here to actually get ahead of Tiamba whilst they're in that fight. Alter Ego eliminated as well. That is a little bit of relief for GOAT, but they've still got Papra Supermassive and Inner Circle to worry about chasing them down.
In my mind, there's a world where D+ is first place at the end of this. I'm not even joking at this point in time. Okay, I'm not even joking. I do feel like it's coming. It's so weird with the South Korean squads because I think day one is always terrible. Day one is always terrible for South Korean squads. And they're like, we get it. I think we understand the circle, and then suddenly they start playing out of their minds. It's just so strange to me that day one's always just like a bit more of an observer day for them.
Oh well, we'll see what they can do. Moving in, the Wolves having a little bit of a clash. The perpetually 6th place team, it seems, like you said, they do make those mistakes and need to step it up. We'll see if they could do that against Papra Supermassive. The little wide wrap around the edge, and that is the go signal immediately. Stepping forwards, and Papra Supermassive down in 10th place. A lot of damage, though, sent back over towards the Wolves. That's coming through from Inner Circle. Defending 6th place from them. Not even allowed up to there.
Yeah, I think for Wolves, that losing one player is not too bad, but it's a very clean fight between them and Papra Supermassive. Very nice. I think Coops is doing his absolute best to make this work. And the one thing that worries me about the Wolves is that there looks to be a little bit of contention in the team at the moment, especially when you watch them on the stage. There is a back and forth. Though I do prefer for teams to be open, and especially North American teams, they can be very loud, but you know, when everything's said and done, they are still very friendly with one another. But if you want to make it towards the end, you've got to let your opinions be known here. The only thing that I'm kind of concerned about there is that you know, you're fostering a little bit of this not so favorable attitude in the team. So for the Wolves, I hope they can keep their heads clear today, because there is the possibility for them. There really is. They just need one big game. That's all they need, and then they're in the running.
Tiamba trying to move forwards. D+ not allowing them that opportunity. D+ keeping things going. I mean, a little bit of revitalization. That first day, not great, but day 2, a lot better for them. They looked really cool on the stage as well, very calm, even when they were finding those chicken dinners. And now, it's like they're trying to convert. It seems like on the north side, they have a very solid chance. Ocel's not out in the water there on that position, don't worry. The minimap just a little bit offset. He is on dry land. He's got dry boots for the time being. But it's all, I feel like, for me, it is still Reject that I'm looking at here. If they can jump up, and maybe as a second storyline, Falcons, if they're going to be able to actually do more than stay alive with a solo and rely on Narvalo for points.
Yeah, I mean, that's not great, is it? You know, having to basically send out Narvalo like some kind of Pokemon in the end game. Narvalo, I choose you.
Max I just had Pokemon, I was like,
points.
what?
Yeah. I mean, that's his special move, right? That's what he gets, 6 points.
Narvalo uses 6 points. It was super effective. Loops. Ooh, they are trying to find the shots and seemingly getting through, but not unscathed. Finding the crash successfully onto this corner. Goat now down to 1 player alive. 3rd place in his hands, although it's a bit safer for now. As we hop back over to this east side. D+ moving in with a solidly timed rotate, still ahead of Tiamba, but Chips is spotted. That's Loops from the south, actually opening the door for Tiamba to maybe to skirt around the edge.
There's some tough shots for top right now. Extremely long distance, but definitely making life hard for Tiamba on the very outer edge of the map. This could easily be a Wolves win. It could easily be a Reject win. Playing around this hilltop here, you can get a lot done for the Wolves. I think the unfortunate thing for them is that they're playing as 3, which makes this a lot more difficult. But I've seen a 3-man win from this spot in the past. It is possible, but you have to be everywhere all at once. And that wasn't on an international stage either. So we'll see how Wolves do want to play this one out. Still 9 teams remaining at almost 22 minutes into the match. It's all these undulating hilltops which allow multiple teams to remain in this lobby for so long.
I'm waiting for Inner Circle's decision here and seeing what they could do as to whether the Wolves are going to have a good time or not. APG actually trying to send off to the hilltop first and not wasting any time, but immediately they're above. There go Inner Circle as well. Wolves take shots out that way.
You're crazy.
In they careen. Doran straight on top of it as well. Looks for the fight. Falak not going to allow him any entry. No quarter given, but T24 is the price they pay. The rest of Wolves, though, on the back lines will not be able to find the angle to go for the flush. Noki stepping forwards, burning Batten out of position. IQ humbled slightly on that peak, but will be able to get some healing done as the reses start to come through. This is Inner Circle's time to turn it around, but Batten again layering down these nades. A response from Falak keeps his team safe. Time and time again, he's coming in clutch, and this is no different.
Ego's very slow on the uptake here. Finally moves a position. It's a long nade. Will get a lot of damage done, but he needs more than just that. And Falak once again with another strong shot will step up, takes him down, and that will be in a circle as 4. This spot is really nice to hold, and teams desire it. As we just saw from 2 squads trying to go for it. I understand what Wolves are trying to do is play the split down towards the west side, but you absolutely have to play as a 3-man in this ditch and just give up the angle.
Ooh, what a nasty little roll up here for D+. Nolbu on the ridge line in the smoke with a big nade. Does so much damage to them. There is an answer, but Nolbu still has got all of the solutions for them, and it's IC getting rolled down. Nolbu! Oh my goodness me, what a play coming through from Nolbu on D+. That hilltop is not safe for anyone, and how on earth do you find that? Nolbu standing head and shoulders over the lobby. A madman, magnificent, resplendent, glorious.
I mean, they're still even taking shots towards Reject. Reject to go Del Saras down. Divines knock. Chips with a long-range angle as per usual. Nolbu might even smile after this game. We may get treated to the rare Nolbu grin.
Oh dear. All toothsome and tricky. As Reject cut down to size, the Falcons are still here, Blank, and they do have 3. They do have this hilltop. I feel like if I was a betting man, I would put money on Falcons. But unfortunately, I'm not. So it's staying in
I
my
wouldn't.
pocket right now. Well, yeah, actually, you know what? You know what? Actually, after what we just saw, it's all on Nolbu, baby. Let's go.
Oh my days. It's
He's
so unreal. Oh, it just takes a little bit of a warm-up for South Korea, apparently. That's all it is. Dear me. I wish we saw more international tournaments with the South Korean squads. They are so damn good. And it does just take a little while, but they learn so much from these lobbies as well. And they get a bit of a reset through the year. And they come back stronger than ever.
I mean, talk about shirking the day one blues. They were cloaked in glory in London last year. And now it's all a flourish for D+. Probably with 6 elims. This really is the man of the hour. He's got MVP of this game on lockdown right now. They've got 11 nades blank and 6 smokes. They are in a pretty solid spot in terms of utility. And the Circle not really putting too much pressure on them right now. It's up to Reject's duo to move, and it's likely they go south, over towards the Falcons angle, a little bit closer.
Well, with P90, it's a pretty slow game though right now from everyone involved. Ought to make sense for D+ considering they got 2. 2v3 is not out of the question, just requires to get that first knock on board. And honestly, so far, they haven't been majorly impressed with the gunfights coming through from the Falcons. This game looks a lot better though. I think that despite everything, and this is more praise, but for a singular player in Narvalo, is that I think that Falcons, I've got to be really proud of this guy because he is doing such an unbelievable amount of work for the team, and also over many years of play. Narvalo has been insane. I think over the past maybe year or so, he has been returning to his full form, to his final form at least, because I think back in the day he was insane. He had a little bit of a drop off, but I think he has a lot more hunger for the game again now.
Oh, it's lovely to see. He's not smiling right now, but you can be sure that that blood is pumping. You don't pull off a play like that and not feel it a little bit. Hopefully the adrenaline drop off here in stage 8 isn't going to be too bad for him. Got to keep the focus. Drop of the smoke train. Knows that Reject have moved up, and he's using that smoke train just to get over this ridgeline. Knows he would be exposed otherwise.
Big thing
for a single team approach.
Big thing for D+ here is that they got a massive resupply. Right? There was so many teams that fell down that ditch. So you have all the nades that you could ever want. You've got all the smokes you could ever want. You can see here that Falcons actually has less nades on 4 players than D+ have on 2.
There's more in the boxes as well that sit around them, right? Even if they throw them out, doesn't mean they've only got 11 to play with. It's just a question of what they could fit in their backpacks right now. D+ moving in. Chips scouting around, still having vehicles here is pretty powerful stuff. The Falcon smoke has been thrown on out. Reject looking to hop into the buggy. Koa still watching this run out. Reiji not going to use the buggy. It's a little bit low on HP. And actually, how has he just done that? Okay. Oh, no blue down. Okay, maybe that's go time. Falcons, move in. Get something done. Try and take some presence. Redox, nade over the top. Chips, dropping the smokes. They've got so many to play with. Now's the time to use them. That nade looks good. The bounce is on. It's just short. Doesn't quite tag the flush. Just behind the vehicle. Nades are coming at them from both angles. They get the res, but it's immediately re-knocked. Chips needs to get out of there. Needs to get out of there now. Nolbu, he's going to be taken away. And everybody's descending. The Falcons rolling over the hilltop. Maybe D+ are down, but the nades are hitting Reject as well. Chips is clocked. And it's D+ down in 3rd. Apollo against 3. And Falcons are able to find a chicken dinner. The main story, though, Blank, was Nolbu that game. A pretty decent chicken dinner for Falcons. To the tree. There is a trade still.
Just have to be careful. You got to play it smart. Hot drop.
And he gets the one, really.
No problem. This should be an easy shot to make for Doc at least, and he will pick up the first knock there and the flush off the back of it. And now Noki's locked in. Right, it's very hard for him to move from that location, and this nade looks pretty decent.
Ooh, does get repositioned away from though. Noki Maybe looking for loot. Maybe spotted it coming. We'll never know. Either way, doesn't take damage from it. Adding a 6th Elim, well, that would be pretty great. You'd love to see it. And they can control that recall as well, which means they can get their player back in nice and early, nice and quickly. Right on top of them as well. The EMP zone flaring out in the meantime. Over towards Wolves. This is on the sort of south side of the center of this circle. With the EMP coming on in. It is not ideal to be in there. It's not the end of the world, but can cause some uncomfortable situations like we saw yesterday, Blank, with the EMP forcing a fight where maybe it wasn't necessary.
Yeah. It's nice to see Coops on the Abacam as well. I think it's absolute laser beam at the moment. Don't get to see a lot of players who are on board though. Papra Supermassive. There's a lot of hope for this team, but it's coming a little too late on their side of things right now at 78 points. I think regardless though from yesterday's performance, especially Kamikaze, they have proven themselves once again to be quite a strong squad overall. So I think most fans of this team can be quite happy. Again, I imagine last chance is going to be very difficult for them, but it doesn't look hopeless going into it.
It's a glimmer, maybe, of hope. There are still qualification spots, and someone has to qualify from that last chance stage, right? At least one team is going to get there. Hopefully more. Circle pops in as the EMP zone fades on the fight. Gen.G on the east side, but it's Goat in the middle there. D+ as well now moving in on that north edge, moving down from Stadium. Seeing what they can find. It's now when teams are going to start to get stuck into situations where they can't go for these recalls. And I'm surprised that Inner Circle hasn't dropped that recall just yet. And in fact, have headed all the way out west to go for it. They are now starting to get it on board. But for Tiamba, they might not be able to be quite as accessible to it.
Yeah, it's a pretty unnecessary fight coming through from Inner Circle over on that eastern side. And especially with things being thrown into the mix, especially in Neox factory around Test Track, that is a very tumultuous area of the map where anything can happen. You're kind of concerned about Inner Circle continuing to drop there, especially on top of Falcons. There's plenty of other positions that are playable. And I think Inner Circle does thrive towards those end games. So why risk the full 4-man squad wipe at the beginning of the game? It's a little bit confusing.
Yeah, it's not favorable, but not Valo. I mean, we know what he likes to do on his own in a single building, right? There's no way you're getting in there. You need at least 5 players, I'm pretty sure, to be able to take him down like that. Just the one's not going to cut it. No mustard was cut. Gen.G against Papra Supermassive, who have had some stellar plays, but still in the middle of those tables. They want to try and breach forwards. A little assist coming on through, and a lovely shot around the corner from Nico. They're finding more. Can't vault out there. I think there's an off angle to deal with, and a teammate to get rezzed up because GS are taking shots. They've got a lot of angles on this surround, so you need to be careful.
GS looked like a pretty tough team in terms of qualification. Like, they didn't look like they were getting anywhere close to it. I think the past couple of days, I think they've really improved like a lot. So I think no matter what happens to GS here, like, they'd be proud of the performance. They still have a little ways to go to get out from that bottom 5. Loops is definitely in danger, as is 9ZG. I think Falcons is slightly more safe, but if they continue on this trajectory where, you know, the 4v4s are just not great, even the 1v1s aren't great from the Falcons at the moment, then it's likely to go downhill. Nice shot from Lost, but now he's just providing information from on top of the rooftop.
The rest of Papra Supermassive not really in a place to assist right now, nowhere near, and they do need to just keep themselves going. I mean, Lost, might be rezzable here if Nico drops another smoke, keeps the cover going. But perhaps you just want to keep your wits about you. That nade doesn't even find it. Ooh, right in the smoke. Maybe they think they've cleared that corner. Drops another one around the edge. That does tag damage, so they know that they're in that courtyard. The reses have come through from GS as well. It should be just finishing on the res, but it's not going to be Nico to face them now. On a sliver of HP, it's just Lost, and he will not find it. You can see them on the east side there, just completely separated from Trompy and Kamikaze. They were isolated out to that west, and GS, well, they launch at that opportunity, but they get the recall for Papra Supermassive very, very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the entire time, they've been sending out to a close-by recall position to get the rest of the players back up again. But for GS, well done. Very, very well done. That's versus a very, very difficult team to play against. And getting that full squad wipe is great. You know, taking the information gain that they grabbed off of those nades and then easily determining where the players are, even pre-spraying the smoke as well. I really enjoyed that fight. I think that was very nice from GS.
Well orchestrated. pmgc trying to orchestrate their approach, but the Wolves have been outposted here for quite a while, Blank. They're fairly firmly entrenched. Teams starting to have their hopes of getting recalls dwindle right now. And that's probably most brutal for both Tianba and for the Falcons, right? One player alive. Falcons very, very central with their last player. But that's where they like to be. The analyst was talking about it before. Tianba, though, a little bit more out in the open as Narvalo has the nades. Let's see what he can do in this shack.
It is interesting looking at the way that Alter Ego and Alpha Gaming are currently playing at the moment. Oh my god. Oh my god.
What?
Okay, that's a horrendous spray down over towards inner circle. I think two players are res, but it depends if someone wants to crash them or not. Either way, what I was saying about Alpha Gaming and Alter Ego is they're both playing very slow on the outside edge, and this sort of makes sense to me because realistically, Rondo is one of the best trampolines when it comes to accelerating your point scoring at the start of the day. And a lot of times that can be the make or break between getting in towards a top spot. Now, for Alter Ego and Alpha Gaming, what they're more concerned with this game is basically keeping other teams down. Right, so they're playing very much on the outside edge. They're not looking for central positions. They just want to make this game as scarce as possible for other squads. They don't want to get too aggressive here. They're just looking to injure, to cause casualties and slow this game down to a crawl, which makes complete sense to me.
Ooh, inner circle really suffering here. Reject have great angles towards them. They're just getting knocked and re-knocked repeatedly. And they're chasing for that third place bubble, Blank. I mean, look at the score lines right now. You got third place at 97. They're on 91 right now. They earned 5 points right at the start of the match. They were feeling themselves, but they're really crunched in here. It is nasty on that western side. A lot of teams very, very close by to one another. A little bit more free and easy on that eastern side, but still no walk in the park. The circle keeps that crunch in the middle too, and Reject are going to further commit down towards that area. As players starting to fall out now, recalls become almost impossible for most of our teams at this stage. APG wanting to get Ziol back up. They are staying completely together here, but pmgc going to try and split them up. Quick, up onto the tree. Dami on the high ground. A lovely nade comes through from Refus. It finds him around the trunk of the tree. There is a trade still, and Ziol is flushed. But can there be retribution? Can APG find their feet here and stay up in that first place spot? Because Satan's already found Doc. Wolves might chime in as well. Look at that flex out.
Slightly whiff nade there coming through from Refus. Reject with Regiocio will pick up one of those elims. Looks like Alpha Gaming is more than likely to go down here on the outside edge on the south side. Again, you're just trying to make sure this game is as stagnant as possible. And for teams that really want to climb up, they're likely looking for a central position anyway. So you are just gifting points across the teams that aren't really all that influential on the lobby. I mean, the Wolves are currently on 79 points, but these eliminations are getting passed around very equally right now. It's a much slower Rondo than what we're used to. But again, I think at an international lobby, this makes a lot of sense. And I wouldn't be surprised seeing this type of meta start to develop in personal regions, right? You know, where on that final day, Rondo's a lot quieter because you don't want to be giving away those massive chicken dinner games.
I mean, yeah, we saw yesterday as well a lot of big starts and then not going too much further. There were a lot of 8-9 elimination teams that were down early into the game, right? That were completely flushed out. And seems like this time around, as you say, it's kind of level pegging for a lot of these teams. APG, the major profiteers right now on this game with 6 elims, but that will be changing as teams continue to move on forwards. Inner Circle have managed to patch themselves back up, Blank. In the meantime, whilst all of that chaos unfolded on the south side circle, they've patched themselves up to 3 players alive. They've got control of their building. Reject flexed a little bit further away, and now they're regrouping out, which has alleviated some of that pressure. In the meantime, though, Alter Ego fighting for the podium spot with D+, Blank.
Yeah, who have now passed GOAT as well. Third place for D+. Now looking to go a little bit further. Norbu with nade outside. A lot of damage over towards Krypton. Goes extremely low. Snape looks to cut the corner, but it's not meant to be, as Norbu will make the big run out. Finds 2, but loops are coming.
They're right over the hill, and they will ride straight into the fight here, Blank. D+ now gonna have a tough time that they were looking for. The opener towards D+. Snape will fall, so Alter Ego in second place will go down. D+, 1 point behind them now. In just 1 elimination, they could draw neck and neck. We'll see if they're able to do it. Loops may be the team to deliver them that point that they need. They're very isolated from everybody else on this northern side.
Osal will bleed out there, so it's a 2v4. Chips got a huge amount of work done yesterday. Now looking to go even further for D+ and secure that position in second place. It's been a big rise from D+ over the last few days. In the meantime, Wolves are looking a little bit slicker today, though I will wait and see, because anything can happen with that team. We've seen them go from strength to very low lows. For the Wolves, not convinced yet.
Ooh, a couple of shots coming on through. Look at that picture-in-picture. Wolves having a tough time against Team Secret. Okay. That's not the team I thought I would be saying there in that sentence. But they've still got a Wolf on the prowl. On that picture, I'm taking a look, and it looks like they will be able to do so much work on the top side. They take down Team Secret, but in come OG on that fight. The Wolves are flushed away. In the meantime, we're back on board now with the main picture here with Luke, and they are still going head-to-head, toe-to-toe. Blow for blow with D+. As the nade pushes Fabian out the back. Chips is still on the inside. Ratto Boy looks for the challenge, but he will not be able to find it. Step into the blue too long. You're going to go down. The point that they need is right there. Will he step out? Will he get too bold with it? Nobody's going to launch them over the top. Blank. They're up into second place over Alter Ego. Can they keep it going?
I mean, this is incredible. The fact that these 2 players make it happen. Fabian has been in the scene for a very long time, and he knows how to keep his nerve here. Loops. Final player up the stairs. Chips looking to finish him off. We'll just have to ascend this one. Noises in the corner. I will get it done. A 2v4 from D+ to secure second place is insane.
How much further can they go? There's not too many people on this northern side. They don't have the meds. I'd be surprised if they even make it out of this blue zone, Blank. I feel like for Chips, he's just trying to find a first aid right now to heal himself in, because there is a long way to go. There's about 200 to 300 meters to dash across, and that's if he makes a beeline with no caution thrown towards cover. This is nasty for D+, but they've got 9 elims already, Blank. And this, as you said before, is a great result to get up into second place, away from GOAT, away from Inner Circle. Inner Circle quite likely to go a lot further, though. So it could still be a worry.
Jump backpack. Pick it up. Put it on. Right now. Thank you.
Oh, okay. It's not going to last too long, though.
That's a clutch jump backpack.
For sure.
I love it when you go for the first aid kit. He's like, wait. That's actually going to save me. That's fine. That's good. That's good. Okay, so Gemma Pack will get D+ even further into this match. All right, I love to see it. Apparently, we saw a cover flare not come through, which I can only imagine came from around this area. Not sure if it was from OG or the Wolves or Team Secret, but either way, cool to see. In an international tournament, someone getting crushed by the mighty Dorito. For OG, they cleared out rejects. It's good, right? 13th place, but 7 elims at the start of the day here is very, very nice for OG. It looks better. I think the most concerning thing is that Wolves were losing the fight to Team Secret. And I think it's fair to say that Team Secret has the worst firepower in the lobby right now. So that is definitely concerning for Wolves. They did hold a stronger position than them, and they were pushing into, but since everyone else that Team Secret has played against they've just fallen over. It is concerning for Wolves.
It's not ideal. They did get a couple of points on this match. They did get 7 elims, Blank, so it's not all doom and gloom for them, but they did want to stay stronger into that fight. With OG rolling in, though, I mean, it's a pretty tough task. OG isolated on the outside. A team that is definitely not isolated on the outside, though, is Papra Supermassive, but we have to talk about them in a minute, because Goat are crashing onto Narvalo, and this is basically an even match. He's got a building to play around, Blank. We'll see if they're able to do it this time around, see if they can get rid of him. He's locked in, but it's going to be the assist coming on from his enemy team. His opponents are doing the work for him. They step in, and this guy just can't be taken out of the building. You just can't do it. From across the way, Papra Supermassive have to get a little bit naughty, but that was floundering on the approach coming through from Goat.
Oh, I guess he wants to get the elims, but it's so greedy. Are you seeing the team pushing onto you, getting blasted? Like, you miss out on a placement point from the back of that as well. So yeah, it's a bit annoying. I think he realized that momentarily. I think he just thought to himself, you know what, I'm just going to try and get some elims. Sick of playing as a solo for my own squad. I'm going to go out in a blaze of glory. But 9ZG, this is a very important game. It's 10th place in the lobby. 69 points right now. If they can get themselves a little bit further, you know, get towards the middle of the pack, they do separate themselves away from some of the others chasing. That includes Loops, who are in a lot of danger right now, especially versus OG, who look to move themselves out from the bottom 5.
That is the name of the game. They're stretching out towards the north. Maxman in our chat is highlighting as well that cover flares here are going to be really important, given the flatness of this terrain. He's going to be looking out for any more, well, first of all, any more emergency flare knocks, but also using that cover effectively. So I'm sure we'll get the Maxman breakdown of the D4s littering the battlefield over on the analyst desk, but it has to happen first. That's what we're here for. Goat's trying to go for another crash, another roll up to the pagoda out in the open. And I see not able to control that, not quite finding the spray down with IQ on that rooftop.
Yeah, I mean, you would have hoped for a little bit more damage there coming through from Inner Circle, but the fact they've got themselves up towards the top 6 is already quite useful. I think the main two teams to look at here is Go as well as Inner Circle, both chasing for that second and third spot, and it's really not that much of a stretch that they need to go. They might even just find it off the back of placement points here, but this is a fearsome fight between DK, El Alter Ego, Go, and Inner Circle for the top 3.
Absolutely is. Although at the moment, Blank, it shouldn't be on their minds about getting into the top 3 now. It should be about maximizing point gain in this match, right? It's great that you can get into top 3, but if you're making a play like, oh, let's just get a couple of points so that we can be in top 3, sure, it's a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling, but you might have given up the opportunity to get 7, 8, 9 points on the game, where that would be a lot more comfortable moving into the future. A hard northwest shift does assist both of these teams, but unfortunately, Papra Supermassive have started to play the game here, Blank, and now just one player left on Inner Circle.
I think Papra Supermassive done a great job to sustain in this match. Lost will take down Falak. The big man from the squad. Inner Circle now just down to 1, and T24, who has been fantastic when it comes to the shots, but it's not enough versus 4 teams. I think for Inner Circle, for them, you know, they're trying to get up towards the top side of the lobby. Sadly, though, that position was very rough to play versus Papra Supermassive, and they were trying to get shots wherever they could. For Goat, this is an extremely tough cross, but getting one of their players in Twix down towards the south side is miraculous, and also fantastic timing from them, right? They pulled out the stopwatch, clicked it as soon as they heard the fighting happening over on that west side, and sent Twix out. So that anchor is really important. Good shots there from Killer Joe.
Oh, able to do so much damage to OG on the approach in a time where they need the points as much as they can get. 7 elims already on the game, Blank. Again, it's not all doom and gloom, but in the bottom 5, it's still really, really uncomfortable. GS also fighting to get out of that bottom 5 spot. They are now 1 point behind Loops. They're guaranteed to get up over Loops this game with the placement points that they're already guaranteed. The question is how far? And nades coming through from OG, making it a little bit harder.
It's so cool seeing, like, a lot of the top teams fighting out for this one, but then looking at a lot of the bottom teams with 9Z, who are in a bit of a struggle bus at the start of the day. GS and OG both looking to make it happen. Both teams who have seen improvement over the stage of Group Green. I think Goat may be done for in the near future, though. They'd have to find a knock over towards 9Z if they wanted to hope in hell of getting out there. But at least getting Twix towards a central position does guarantee them at least like a top 4 here.
I mean, it's on smokes and cover flares. Like, are they might be waiting for other teams to move and covering off Twix's angle, right? I think, are they just in this circle? I think they still have just a tiny sliver of it. Papra Supermassive actually take a knock from Goat. So there's the maybe opener that they were looking for, but it's still so flat against 9ZG. Their approach, as you said, is fraught with danger. I have to try and find something. In the meantime, OG holding the south as well.
For Go, the only option here is to wait for the circle to crunch 9Z in, and during that time where it gets a little bit messy for 9Z, where they have to move and back off angles, that's where the rest of Go can start to move. But they're gonna send out some craters, but they need themselves.
Yeah, that's not gonna work out for Go. Oh dear. With the placement points they've got already though, Blank, they are in the top 3.
Yeah, they tried to pull it in a circle there. Sadly, a little bit of a bounce off the wall kind of ruins their whole day. That's a bit sad. But again, I still think it's a top 4 with Twix involved. GS trying to get around the side, but it's a nasty nade from Maru. Goes over towards Icon, will take him out. And now ESO looks to find these shots through the window.
Maru steps out wide.
Patient, though.
Good. A really, really nice rotation there, getting through. Loving the ghillie suit on Rondo, by the way. Don't see too much of it. The blossoms looking pretty for Aru. Almost as pretty as his peaks there. 9 elims now and a 4th place guarantee. This is the game that OG needed to jet out of the bottom 5 Blank. They want to keep climbing. They want to go as far as possible. Again, it's nice not to be there now, but it's about getting as many points under the belt as humanly possible to set yourself up for safety later on. Because with only 6 matches, including the conclusion of this one to go, it's got to feel good that you're into the top 3. Maybe a 2nd place on the cards. If Papra Supermassive can hold it out against 9ZG.
Yeah, I think for OG it's been really nice, and so far a lot of these pieces they're going for are covered off by their teammates, and it's looking a lot cleaner on their approach towards these engagements. They're not trying to take fights that they know they're not comfortable in, and they're still keeping up that great macro that we know that they have. It is sad where this is almost an impossible location to push out from, but what I am glad about is that they tried to make a move. A lot of times in the past I think OG would have just sat there and waited for the blue to envelop, but they actually went for something, and that's promising to me.
I mean, they saw those flares drop. They knew attention might be distracted, might be a little bit split. That was as good a time as any, but unfortunately did not go their way. Papra Supermassive, they've held this building for so long. 9ZG have been on the outside, but 9ZG are giving it a damn good go here. Nico is knocked. Lost was taken down earlier. Nico on the off angle, very unlikely to be resable there. Kamikaze feels the bounce of a nade of one of the tetrahedra littering the battlefield, and another nade for 9ZG. This is again another campaign to get away from the bottom 5 spots, and that is a brilliant conclusion for 9ZG. Papra Supermassive get a decent chunk of points as well, but they could not leave their compound. They held it strong, but they just weren't allowed out the front door.
I mean, for 9Z, this is a big game for them. They needed it from where they were in the tables. That's more of a survival win for this team than anything. For Papra Supermassive, though, it does send them a little bit further up towards the top of the tables. For OG, a little bit more aggressive up in particular. You know, having a wife and 3 kids and a kid, right? It's a lot to juggle. It's a lot to juggle, but it just shows that even at 26, like, you can still perform extremely well as long as you have the grind on. It's incredible.
Well, Loops have been on the grind here for a while, trying to get on into the zone, but I've had to go all the way to the west side, and OG might draw them short here. A lot of damage already felt by both of these teams by the blue zone. We're into stage 3, so it's non-trivial to deal with. Nilzada, a nade in. Oh, shotgun shut down there on a tanky. I don't think that's going to be resable, but there's the off angle they were looking for. I think that, did that come through from Aru? No, it was the burn coming through from a tanky with that Molotov. Both teams are going to start to lose players. I think disengaging, if you can, is fairly wise at this stage. OG going to try and make a run for it. Loops maybe actually getting this res here. It is still resable, for just a moment longer. We'll see if they can make it work. And yeah, OG, off they go on their bike or buggy or whatever they can find.
It's a very, very tough approach here for OG. And again, this is what I meant earlier, where I think this Western Bridge is probably the more wise decision. It takes a while to get here, but OG definitely make it. They're going to take a quick scout over the bridge, quick reset on the meds, but there's no one waiting here. Why is Alter Ego still on the north side?
The analyst chat is lighting up with it.
Worried? Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, I think that it seems like they're very worried about what's going on the other end of things. Again, it is hard to scout that far across. And I think that they have seen multiple times that teams have been held out in this location. Come on.
They're still not going for it.
You got to make the cross at some point. I am worried that what they're going to do is they're going to go for the swim, in which case they give up a lot of vehicles.
They're just refueling. Don't worry. They just stopped off for snacks. That's what it is. Alva was hungry, guys. It's all just in aid of a full stomach. Can't be taking gunfights on an empty stomach.
Come on, we're getting to stage 4. And 9Z is coming in behind them right now.
Maybe they're not waiting. Maybe they're the ones bridge camping.
Maybe. Come on.
I mean, that's the
Time
only
to
thing
go now. It's time to go now. Thank you. Thank you.
You can't get yourself picked back up after this stage as well. So very dangerous to stay out this long.
Very much a situation of AE there yet. Slightly bit more of a tongue twist than I thought that was going to be.
It's 2 letters, mate.
But they've got across. They have got across. Circle back over towards D+. Over on this north side, playing the hilltop. I think this is a messy circle. It's a very messy circle where you're over towards Millie base as well. We are cutting in a little bit of airstrip, which isn't too comfortable to play in. I think Wolves want to get out of that area as soon as possible. Great shots from Alpha Gaming, though. Goodness me.
Ooh, okay. Shots down towards Alter Ego. They'll need to pick these reses up as fast as they can to get onto this next zone. D+ ahead of them to their west. You've got 9Z who actually, rather shockingly, just sent straight on through, but straight into Reject. Already they're getting torn to pieces. Reject very happy to see some points delivered to them. The question is, can they find the shots? Can they find those shutdowns? There's only one left on the inside. I don't think it's going to last too long here. Reject looking for the last player on the end. A rotate in. Comes through as we see a crash from Team Secret. They're still alive, by the way, in the picture-in-picture on the north side, actually, towards Loops, who might be in a bit of trouble. Can't quite find their way in here. Milos is just trying to hide in the corner. This is really nice. I mean, step out. This is a shotgun. This is a shotgun bonanza. If he steps out at the right time, there's one. Looks for the next as well. Gets the flush. That's huge. Has to go for the reload though, and now Reject are on the revenge path. They lose one player, but they do shut him down.
Oh, that's disappointing, man. You know, it's just one guy in there, just re-peek. I suppose that they did set up the compound quite well in terms of the 2 monster trucks denying the entry towards the window. So if they get crashed on, that's how they defend versus 9C. But that is a situation where you should be able to hold out as 4 and just refrag onto the player. The fact they lose one there is really bad. From a central position like this, it's really not good. I also think that there is something to be said here about 9Z, where although, you know, they're on 87 points, they've had some good games, there is a lot of impatience from this squad. If they can't find a good position early into the match, they will just send it. And oftentimes, they will just find themselves in really sticky spots on the map.
I mean, to be fair, you don't expect a team to be bridge camping you on the east in that scenario, right? Like, it maybe really confused them, but that's the sort of thing, I guess, you also can't afford to be able to get confused in a scenario.
I mean,
like
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about sending center.
Oh yeah, but like
Reject.
after that, you're like, oh, we got to go. There's obviously a big roadblock ahead of us. We just got to go for a mad dash,
You
right?
could also
Like,
just play on the edge.
You must assume if there's a team still on that bridge, that there are teams ahead of them, right? So you assume that the ground in front of them is very, very full. I'm really trying to give them as much leeway as possible here, and I will admit, maybe I shouldn't. Paparum Supermassive, though, down to their last player against Loops, and They're not having a good time of it. That is going to be Papa Supermassive eliminated, and Loops are up to 9 elims, Blank. You said they were the team that's most in danger of dropping down. Well, they are certainly acting like it.
Yeah, and again, the more points that Loops gets in this match, the harder life becomes for a lot of our teams underneath. I mean, for Reject and Tiamba, I think Tiamba, it's done now. I think it is done. I think for Tiamba, it is almost impossible for them to get back up towards that top side. Genji looking to head over towards GS, who are also chasing. I think GS are also struggling, but likely will retain a place.
Oh, Falcons, they're moving in. I think Redox
inside the bottom 5.
Quick has to hit the deck. Falcons know exactly where he is. That'll be pinged out on the vehicles, but they are pulling back a little bit. Icon taken down. That is the last player of GS, and that is APG rocking up to this one as well. The Falcons on the far side really causing some hurt, some pain there. So they're up to 5 elims. APG as well, looking to tip themselves up and over. They've broken that barrier that we were talking about. They're over 140 now, and they want one more at least. Dammy under pressure from these nades. Has to reposition with the Falcons flying into that far hillside as well. He's not going to last too much longer. Up to 142, and the placements are going to kick in soon as well.
Yeah, for Alpha, all this is right about now is just not giving up first place. The jump up in prize pool between second and first place is quite a lot in most PUBG Mobile tournaments. We still reward our top 3 very handsomely, but it's usually first place who does take the biggest cut of the prize. And I think that, to be fair, for Alpha, they were playing it fairly slow because they knew that they were holding on to first place. But as soon as D+ started turning up the heat, they knew they needed to get a little bit of a game in. And this one's been good. I mean, even taking the opportunity to move over towards Observatory, that's very unlike Alpha Gaming. Okay, takes Krypton along with him in the vehicle. I think that, you know what I would quite like to know is how many vehicle eliminations Docs had this group green. I think we're up to 6 or 7 now at this point, which is more than I think we've ever had in any one tournament.
Oh dear. He is certainly a terror behind the wheel. Whoever gave him a driving license, I'm sure they're regretting that one. As we take a look over towards the rest of this game, though, teams are starting to fall fairly quickly now, Blank. The hilltops to the north, fairly convincingly under control by D+. It's Inner Circle. Again, that fight for the top spots here. Third place, very, very closely fought between Goat and Inner Circle. Losing players here would be nasty. They've already taken a lot of damage, and as D+, they're up against Osal, has the off angle, and Goat are taking shots as well. Oh no, Inner Circle having a really bad time, but they've still got Falak. What can he do here? Favian close by, but backing off to find chips on the res.
D+, chips goes down. Nado at the top towards Falak does get a lot of damage done. Favian over towards Falak will find it. So that's Inner Circle taking a lot of damage. They should be able to hit the chips back up. Just nice to see.
I mean, this is really Reject's game right now with one player from Inner Circle to fall down. It's D+ with a central position. It's kind of D+ versus Reject again, Blank. In this circle, the southeast side that we see on the picture-in-picture is APG versus Falcons. D24 is going to give it a good go. Does find Nolbu, but going to get taken down in response, and yeah, that's going to get flushed out. IQ is actually still alive in all of this. He did manage to get out of that fight. I am still focused, though, on this fight on the southeast side as we zap on over to it. Falcons with 4, APG with 4 as well. Haven't really been able to find success on either front of that, and APG disengage. They're moving up to the hills to the north and maybe look at a fight D+.
I think for D+, this fight between D+ and Alpha Gaming, which probably will break out towards the end here, will be the fight of the day. Very excited to see this one happen. Falcons need to break wide, though. Currently, Zhol is holding this spot. For the Falcons, we did speak about this at the start of the game, that there is a big chance to jump up above Inner Circle, above Goat, into that top position. And honestly, if we get Alpha Gaming, D+, Falcons in the top 3, whew, what a lineup that will be going through to the grand finals. It'll be unreal.
I mean, I don't think going into today anyone would have called Falcons with a chance. They
But
looked
this
a little bit
last day,
lackluster.
it's the last day always. It's always the last day for the Falcons.
It does seem to be, doesn't it? There's something about it. They have a potent resurgence built within them, built different somehow.
It's curious as well, because usually Alpha Gaming's like the team that is the last day champions, where in that final day, Alpha Gaming is known to put up a disgusting performance. But right now, they are taking 2 knocks straight away. Falcons equally are suffering versus the Wolves. Just Doran here, actually.
Oh, no. What?
No way!
Yeah, top 3, the Falcons, APG, TK. Oh, yes. Hang on a minute. Doran? You can't be doing that.
Close the Doran door right in the face.
Oh.
I'm sorry I didn't give that too much fanfare. It honestly, it felt like, oh, okay, he's going to get 1, he's going to get 2, and then Falcons will clean this up. Surely. You do not see 1v4s in International. I cannot believe Doran pulled that off.
I mean, blink and you miss it, right? Doran was... Oh my God. Okay. Well, Wolves, again, not really probably going to get too much out of this game, but certainly ruin it for the Falcons. The decision to crash onto Doran for the Falcons, though, might be an interesting one here, Blank. It feels like...
I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
Okay, sure, you can transition towards reject later on, potentially. They're right on the edge of the circle with it, though.
I mean, Alpha had that lineup. They couldn't really crash that way on the East. Also, if they do that, reject have sight lines. I think you don't see many players, if at all, over towards the silos. So you just send it, and you get soloed. I don't think the decision-making was poor. I think the gunfight was terrible. But the decision-making, I don't think there was an issue of it.
I mean, we need a replay of that at some point. Hopefully the desk will have that locked down, because Doran's going off right now. Maybe he's going to do it again. He's got a lot of smoke to play around. He's going to get up to the wall. Reject don't want to let him cross, but they don't really have too many options right now with the smoke cover.
I do like for Doran, he's now just using the entirety of Falcon's utility to cross 20 meters.
Oh, dear.
I'll show you guys how to use util.
Oh, my God. Doran. Reject's like, where's he getting all these smokes from? What? Is it more than one dude? What's going on?
Some kind of nimbus cloud off in the distance.
Oh, dear. Well, he's made it to the wall.
Great job. We did it.
That's so many smokes. That's insane. OG getting found on their last player. That's Goat to pick it up. Goat have been down on the belt buckles for a while as well, trying to crawl across the open ground. 5 teams remain. 8 eliminations for APG as well on this match. They've only got 2 remaining. Doran. No, you
Come
can't.
on.
You gotta stop, man. You've got to. You cannot be allowed to do stuff like this. Kraken has to hit the deck. They can't really take free fights here. Doran steps up for another. No,
you're
Doran.
crazy.
You can't
You're
do
crazy.
this. You can't do this. This is PMGC. It's not allowed. Someone put him to bed. It's his bedtime.
Oh.
Surely he's out of this game. No, Doran! Stop it! Don't go down to the Giant Slayer! What is this man doing? He is absolutely crazy!
Oh, dear me. Doran will not let you get a foot in towards this circle. A 1v4 into a 1v3. This is magic on the main stage. We talked about rabbits out of a hat, but right now, Doran's making this look easy. Gets up to the wall as well. Probably should go down to this nade, though, but goodness me, what a game it's been from him.
Okay. Oh my days. It looks like the nightmare's ended though. And now we're up to the hilltops. APG on 2 players alive. They've got a lot, but it's D+ again in this late game on a military island circle. They find top, and now they're looking for Ziol around the corner as well. 3rd place guaranteed for APG at least. That will put them over 150. Or maybe not quite. If they can get another elim, that's what they'll be looking for. But still very, very close. Very comfortable to be in the top 3. Our first team to really, truly lock it down towards those spots. D+ want to join them, though. And with a chicken dinner, you think that they might be able to. A Reject, again, in a late game circle. 6 elims. I mean, it's almost more important for Reject than anybody else right now.
It absolutely is. For Reject, they want the chicken dinner, but they got 2 big dogs in the lobby, and right now they're the Chihuahuas. Let's see if they can make it happen versus the best of them. Zell takes some shots off and towards the distance. They do have the low ground to play at the moment to Reject. They have vehicles as well, which is the main thing, but D+ continues to send nades their way, keep them backed off from their position. D+ looking to fight out for those bragging rights at the top of the tables.
I mean, Reject have the center of the circle though. D+ are, sure, they've got a higher ground position, they've got an angle, but they're gonna have to move. The point's denied from APG.
It's mean.
They actually picked up the res in order to deny an extra point there, which is kind of nasty. To the blue zone it goes, but now D+ versus Reject. Already a good game for Reject, but they desperately need this chicken dinner to stay alive in this tournament, to jump up towards that 11th place bubble. Nate's going a little bit long onto Ragey. Downhill, it's always a little bit tougher.
If a Reject, they need the chicken dinner. Like you say, it's imperative that they get it. It's not a case of, oh, it would be nice for Reject to have a chicken dinner. At this point in time, it is a case of it's required. It is a necessary procedure for Reject to grab a chicken dinner here to finish out this game and give them that chance. Because I think even with a chicken dinner here, it doesn't take them out from the bottom 5. But it will be the first stepping stone for them.
D+ starting to run a little bit lower on those nades. You can see they've only got 3 remaining. Ragey cooking another. If he finds a knock, this would be huge. The Molotov, probably a wiser decision. Force Ragey off of the tree. The question is, does it land on spot? It definitely did. Look at that damage tick away. He has to fall all the way back to the vehicle. That's going to be a lot easier for D+ to go on towards. They know the damage is there, and they have to go over the top now. Spray down towards Divine. D+ trying to stop Reject from getting on in. And Ragey looks for the spray down, a wild rollout here, and Apollo finds it. Osal is down. They do not find the backlines. They haven't got a knock yet, and there's another one onto Fabian. D+ are starting to fall blank. It's now 3v2. Reject have the inside of the circle. They are desperately climbing towards those tables, towards that 11th place, but Ragey will finally go down to the nade. One more left. Look on for Apollo. Nolbu with the chance here, and it's going short of the tree trunk.
Divine's down, leaving it all down to Apollo in a 1v2. An impossible task ahead of him. Pulls the pin on the grenade. Reject looking to reject defeat here in the face of impossible odds.
No,
but it's not
they
meant
can't
to
quite
be.
do it. Oh no, they can't get all the way across the line. D+ take it away from them. Still not a smile in sight. They are so cool, calm, and collected. Into the top 3 with them. They looked pretty solid before. Now even more so, but Reject